Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. In this video we will discuss how to register a trademark in the UK. If you're new, I'm Malcolm Zoppi, an English qualified solicitor, and this video is broken down into two main sections. Section number 1 will discuss the main principles that are relevant when it comes to trademarks, and section number 2 is a step-by-step guide where I will do two main things to make it as easy as possible. Number 1, I'll share my screen so you can see exactly what needs to be done step by step. And secondly, I will link in the description below free documents and templates that you can download so you have everything that you need to get started. Also, make sure to watch until the end so you can receive a legal tip on how to properly protect your trademark once it is registered. Okay, great, so let's get started. What is a trademark? A trademark, put simply, is a mark that is used in trade. So for example, it can be a brand name, let's say Coca-Cola, and that name is used when selling a product, the Coca-Cola beverage. What is the difference between a trademark and a trademark? A trademark is a mark used in trade but has not been registered yet. Whilst a trademark, spelled as one word, is actually a trademark that has been registered. Now, I'm sure you will have seen online that sometimes people use the R or the TM. So what is the difference between those? R stands for registered and TM stands for trademark. So the R can only be used when you've actually registered your trademark, and the TM can pretty much always be used so long as it is a mark that you're using in your trade. And the last thing that you need to know before we move on to registering your trademark is classes. So when it comes to registering a trademark, you need to select which classes are applicable for your trademark. A class pretty much is like an industry. So for example, I've registered the name Gaffney Zoppi, my law firm's name, and I've registered it against classes of the legal industry. I wouldn't register it for beverages because Gaffney Zoppi is not used in connection with a product that is something that you drink. Fantastic. Now, before we move on to the step-by-step guide, where I will show you exactly how to register a trademark, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can continue to receive useful, practical, and pragmatic legal information and free templates. Amazing. Let's get into the step-by-step guide. You should be able to see my screen here. This is the guide, and there are 6 main steps that we need to follow. Step number 1 is to gather the necessary details using document A. Again, this will be linked in the description, and this is what document A looks like. Quite easy, you just need to gather these details and you're ready to get started. Great, we can now move on to step number 2, which is to actually check that the trademark meets the criteria of something that can actually be registered with the UK IPO. Now, we won't go into this too much. Instead, what I've done is linked the criteria here, and you can have a look at what you can and cannot register. Step number 3 is to decide which classes you want to register against your trademark. What I've done to make this as easy as possible is linked the UK IPO's page here. You just click on search UK trademark classes and input the word or phrase that is relevant for your product or service, and check which classes are relevant for you. Great, we can now move on to step number 4, which is to check that your trademark has not already been registered by someone else for the same classes. Again, I've linked here the UK IPO's website, and you will click here and search for the words that are relevant for you. Something very important to keep in mind here is that even if there is a trademark that has already been registered, which is very, very similar or identical to yours, it doesn't mean that you can't still register your trademark. What is important is that the existing trademark owned by someone else is in a different class from yours. Great, so once you've done that, we can move on to step number 5, which is to visit the IPO's website and start the application procedure. So I've linked it here. You will then click on apply online and complete the questionnaire accordingly, which is actually step number 6. Now, once you've submitted your application, the IPO will analyze it to make sure that it is suitable for being registered as a trademark, and then it will be published in the IPO journal, where it will stay for 2 months and anyone can object to your application. If nobody objects and the 2 months go by, then you've successfully registered a trademark. But what can you do to protect it even more like a legal expert? To find out, watch this video right here, which talks about how to use and create a group structure to also protect your intellectual property like trademarks. Thank you for watching, and if you'd like to learn more about how we can help you and your business, visit our website, which is linked below.